Hello, 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 and welcome, my Virgo collective sun, moon, rising signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next for May 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Virgo sun sign. Holla! If you're new to my channel, please do consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell, because I am putting out content every day while we are in our current global situation. Live streams and recorded videos. Well, let's see if that one comes around again. And please feel free to comment in the comment section below as well, because I like the feedback. I am a Virgo. I love to serve. It's what I incarnated to do. So let's get down to business, shall we, my fellow Virgos? Virgo power. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, my darlings, right? So please take what resonates, leave what does not, check your other signs. I'm keeping these relatively short, doing what I call a card draw, different than a spread. Just pulling one card from 6 different decks, oracle systems, to get you some clues, some tips, some hints about this, what you need from this waning moon cycle, this full moon to new moon next. And by the way, that is the full moon in Scorpio on the 7th of May, going to the new moon in Gemini on the 22nd, just so that you have the time frame in mind. Because what do I need reading is just that. It's asking the divine, well, what do I need, right? And if you're watching this before, you can sort of kind of get in mind, okay, well, let me keep an eye out for that. Let me keep an eye out for that. If there's something I can prepare myself with ahead of time, all the better. But even if you're watching this while underway or even after, can give you a little insight for stuff you might not have seen while going through it. Although as Virgos, we're probably pretty really good at analyzing the crap out of all this stuff. So tell you what, if you focus on your breathing as we do this, and I focus on my breathing as I do this, I'll be able to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I've been training my entire life, reading people since I'm 12 years old. I'll be 52 this year. That means I've been reading tarot for 40 years. Good God almighty. And if you're doing the same on your end with your breath, you'll be able to really feel what resonates and leave what doesn't. Cool, cool. Let's do this. All the decks that I read are in the description box. At the bottom of the description box, there's some other cool linkage in there if you want to check it out later. We're going to start with Caroline Mace archetype deck. I will call out the other decks as we go to give credit where credit is due. Let's get up in this gig. Breathe. The decks have already been blessed. My pantheons are ready. I already had a client today for an hour, so let's rock and roll. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity. What is the soul pattern, the soul power, the archetype that the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising signs are dealing with, alchemizing from lead to gold this waning moon, or this new moon in Scorpio? Full moon in Scorpio to new moon in Gemini, May 2020. Please, there is the archetype card. Keeping in mind I am a Virgo, I'm going to tell you it's really easy to overthink these particular cards. They have written on them the shadow attribute and the light attribute. Nobody wants to look at the shadow. It's the stuff you don't want anybody to know about, least of all yourself, right? But if we become aware of it, we can begin moving that shadow into light, doing the alchemy, the healing, etc. We have one of the child archetypes. The child archetype is part of the survival family. This is the magical child, a subset of the child archetype. And as beautiful as the magical child sounds in its light, in its shadow, it's pretty damn toxic. But that's how it goes for archetypes in general. So let's start with the shadow. The shadow magical child. Pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Hello, I've been there several times in the past month. Hello, my name is Mark, and I have wrestled with the shadow child, magical child archetype. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Now that's where I draw the line, because I've been doing this too long to know. I know better about that one, but I will say some pessimism, some depression, and some disbelief in miracles totally over this past couple of months. But the light attribute is what we're shooting for, and with a waning moon, we can really begin to alchemize this stuff from the shadow to the light. Seeing the potential for sacred beauty and all. Guilty. In all things, the belief that everything is possible, double guilty or double innocent, however you want to see that. Cool? That's our first one down. Now, what I like about the next deck, the Healing with the Angels Oracle, is that it's the Healing with the Angels Oracle. What angel is going to help us alchemize that shadow to light with the magical child within us, which we need the magical child right now to believe that there is a grander purpose, that there is sacred beauty in this somehow. We may not see it now, but that doesn't mean we can't believe it's not there. And that's sometimes the difference that keeps us moving forward or not, right? Not that there's really anything wrong with feeling, right, pessimism and depression. We have to love that child within us. We have to love what arises. We have to take care of ourselves, inner child work through all of this rather than bypass and repress, but really having the innocence of the magical child. Think Harry Potter, right? He still had hope, right? He was still able to see the beauty in things. It's a really good magical child archetype, and he had it rougher, in a way. Voldemort, etc. Ooh, I said his name. Deal. I'm a witch, I can handle it. Nice deep breath. Made my angels laugh. Hello, my angels. One card in clarity from the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign from this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini. What is the angel that walks with us, helping us heal? I saw you come on there, little light. For this full moon to new moon next May 2020. Nature. Now, getting out in nature is part of that for sure. I mean, I have my garden outside on my deck. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you know I sit out there when the weather is warm. The weather just started getting warm. I just started planting seeds yesterday. Well, for Beltane, I've got some tomato plants going on in seed, right? Some cucumbers, you know, vegetables this time, as well as my my perennials have come back, my lilacs and stuff like that. So I do like getting out in nature, and you know, I'll put on a mask and go for a walk around my condo development. It's really lovely. We've got a golf course backing up behind us, so it's kind of a nice vista. So to get out to nature, but let us also keep in mind the other meaning of the word nature, something that is inherent, what is in your nature. That there's something about the child archetype. Remember, everybody has the child archetype. Maybe not everybody has the magical child archetype, but the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute, those four are the survival family archetypes. Go read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace, or watch her videos on YouTube. There are thousands of, if not Caroline herself, Caroline Mace oriented. Just put in archetype Mace, MYSS. You'll see what I mean. So there's something about the nature of the child itself, and the magical child in particular, that is about our innocence, our ability to not just wish that things would be better, but actually engage in that power of miracles, that anything is possible. However, is everything probable? That's the adult, right? So we don't let the child run the show, but that doesn't mean that the child can't inspire us and keep us going with true hope rather than false hope. Snap. Thank you, my angels. Let's move on. The next deck that I'm going to use, rather than pull purely an angel card, a god card, and a goddess card like I usually will do, I've got the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle. A very direct deck, I will say. So let's ask our deities, shall we? Nice deep breath. My angels, gods, and goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. This full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini, please. What is the angel, the god, or the goddess that walks with us in terms of what we need for this full moon to new moon next May 2020? Ooh, the angel of abundance. A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. Woot, woot, woo, woo. Yeah, the angel of abundance. Now you put that with nature. This feels like actual physical abundance, right? Because, abundance itself just means extra, right? It just means a lot of something, right? You can have an abundance of emotions. You can have an abundance of problems. You can have all sorts of abundance. But a steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. That might be as a result of the waning moon, of us letting go of some stuff, right? That loss leads to gain, and gain leads to loss. It's the waxing and waning, and yes, the waning side of the moon is more of that internal purging, letting go, releasing, to make room for more. And maybe that there's something there about honoring, about respecting, about not just appreciating, what's the word I'm looking for? Acknowledging and welcoming the sadness of the inner child, the depression of the inner child, the hopelessness of the inner child, allowing ourselves to feel that reveals our true nature of the magic, the miracles, the mysticism of life that allows a stream of abundance, right? A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. So maybe we are in that process of making room. That loss makes way for gain. Just saying. To clarify, let's ask the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Now we're dealing with the Ascended Masters, right? The next two decks are about Ascended Masters. This one and the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck we'll do next. So there are 4 suits in this deck. The problem, which is half of the deck, because it's good to know, like particularly waning moon. Like, what's the problem? Like, what is it that I need to look at, to need, right? What do I need reading? Do I need to wane? Do I need to give my attention to? Then the rest of the deck is luck, healing, and grace. So let's ask the Ascended Masters what we need. Nice deep breath. Oh, my Ascended Masters, that felt lovely. Please, one card in clarity for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. This full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini. Please, Ascended Masters, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, a piece of healing, or a piece of the problem. What do we need to be aware of? What do we need this full moon to new moon next, May 2020? We got the healing card of commitment. Now, I know, I don't know if you can see the card here, but it's 2 people holding hands, right? And they're going to walk the path, and they're little heart-shaped trees, right? And they're making their way to a rainbow at the end of the path. So I know we think of that in terms of like commitment in a relationship, but maybe this is about a commitment to our true nature, to the nature of the soul. We will see, but that it is a healing card, right? I think is important. Can we commit to love ourselves? Can we commit to love that child in our hearts, right? To that when we worry, when we get apprehensive, when we have our regrets, to just be kind and loving to ourselves, since like our physical movements are a bit confined and truncated right now. Too easy to escape, right? And the magical child can absolutely go in to become the runaway or the escapist child. So to really commit to our path, to really commit to our healing, remember Virgo, 6th house, occupation and health. That is what Virgos are all about, through service, but to service to ourselves. And if you are a Virgo who is in service to others, on the front lines, essential businesses and stuff like that, then really know that your commitment can carry you through this in a way that can really give that child a deep sense of meaning, and really alchemizing it from lead to gold with that belief that everything is possible. Lovely card. I'm glad we got a healing card, because we are so very much one of the healers of the zodiac. Any sign of the zodiac could be a healer, but come on, we're Virgos. Speaking of the healing, let's do a healing mantra from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. One side of the card has the mantra itself, the other the name of the mantra. Nothing else is written on the card, so I will look it up in the booklet, the bookie book that comes with it. That is extremely helpful. No, I always do like to say, I've never met Matt Kahn. I found him on YouTube, his YouTube channel. Unbelievable, really good stuff. I've got 2 of 3 of his published books. Really enjoying him. There are very few spiritual teachers I've done this with. I've done this with Carolyn Mace, I've done this with Eckhart Tolle, but really a little Deepak Chopra here and there. But he's really wonderful. Check him out, and I love this deck. I'm not getting any kickbacks, right? I have no lines of communication open with Hay House, the publisher. So I'm sharing this just out of my own appreciation and wanting to share what works for me, as Virgos do. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, the Ascended Masters, that felt so good. Please, one card in clarity. For the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, rising signs for this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini. Please do us Virgos a solid. What is the perfect healing mantra for us this full moon to new moon next, May 2020? Hearing inner guidance. I like this one. Well, I would. I'm an empath and an intuitive. Let's see if I can get that light to click off. Can I? Yes. Hearing inner guidance. My intuition flows whenever I am still. My intuition flows whenever I am still. Let me read you that one. I like this one. I like being still, too. Apparently my camera agrees. Just pops right back on. My intuition flows whenever I am still. When you hear inner guidance, you receive an affirming and defining moment of inspiration. It can be a new direction, a new way of seeing old patterns, or an enchanted idea that is delivered in your own voice out of the silence. Very much a magical child terrain thing. When inner guidance is heard, you are ready to either hunker down into the healing benefit of your current circumstances or move forward into a brand new chapter. In either case, this is an opportunity to further align with your soul by embracing your needs. So that really does say that we need to get still. You know, just sitting still isn't that doesn't mean the mind can't race, but there's something about being still to allow well, they're giving me the image of like a muddy pond, right? But that when the sediment settles, you can see, right? You can see clearer. Something about getting still. And then you can hear the guidance. This mantra is ideal for resolving restlessness, hello, remutable earth, becoming a better listener, and being more open-minded. Well, we are Virgos. We tend to be a little opinionated because we've analyzed the crap out of everything. But analysis is different than intuition. It just definitely is. Last card down, and then I'll put it all together. The Whispers of Love Oracle, another rather direct oracle deck that I love, love, love. This is the voices of the higher self, so in this case, my own included. The higher self collective. Nice deep breath. The higher selves of all involved. Dimensions 5 through 12, please. What is the whisper of love for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, rising signs, this full moon in Scorpio, to new moon next in Gemini, please? Higher self collective, one card in clarity. What is the whisper of love for us this full moon to new moon next, May 2020? I get this card like almost every day when I pull them. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you so you will always consider them. Can I tell you, I've been chatting with the soul of my soulmate. Granted, I'm on lockdown solo here, except for my kitty cats. If you're following me on Instagram, I post lots of pictures of them because they're adorable. But felines aside, I have been communicating with the soul of whoever my soulmate is. Yeah, it could be this person, could be that person, could be that person, might be someone I don't know. But I have to tell you, through indirect manifestation, look it up. I've been feeling the love between us sort of clearing the path. So it's been really delightful acting as if my partner is here, but though usually in meditation, usually in stillness. So let me put this all together for you. Considering we've got the magical child archetype to start off with, then by all means, let us hear inner guidance, our intuition flowing whenever we are still, to act as if our partner is here, because maybe this is about making a commitment to loving ourselves and loving our partner, whether we know who they are or not. With the angel of abundance, right, a steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. And maybe if you're single, like I am, once we kind of get through this, or at least for the next waning moon, that we're going to be clearing the path for that, and that it's just part of the natural cycle. And certainly we can experience more of the beauty and abundance by being out in nature in safe, healthy ways, right? Like even just going for a walk, I could put my feet in the grass out on my lawn now, right? Without my toes turning blue from the cold. So as earth signs, as Virgo, sun, moon, rising, we really have the opportunity to let the innocence of that child allow things to happen that the adult might not be able to, in terms of it, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things and the belief that everything is possible. Well, then maybe that sort of magic can allow this abundance of commitment. But for right now, we may need to act as if our partner is here while hearing our inner guidance, the intuition flowing whenever we are still. So there you have it, my Virgos. May the Virgo collective, sun, moon, rising sign, myself included, be blessed with all that we need this full moon to new moon next for May 2020, that we may heal, that we may grow, that we may hear the inner guidance, that we may act as if our partner is here, that we may find the commitment and the flow of abundance in nature as the magical child in us believes all things are possible for our well-being, our growth, our development, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching, my Virgs. Please, again, like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and comment in the description box below, as I wish you the very best and the very blessed for this waning moon, full moon to new moon next May 2020. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.